My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Madame Web. And this movie is getting destroyed by critics, and rightfully so. This is every bit as bad as you've heard. This is a truly dreadful movie. It is atrocious. It is an embarrassment to all involved, and it's one of the worst comic book movies ever made. I despise the 2017 Justice League, but I don't know if this movie is better than that one. Though it's definitely bottom two comic book movies of all time. I don't even know how this movie got made. First of all, who asked for a movie on Madame Web? Did anyone? And then on top of that, how did this script get approved? How did anything that happens in this movie get approved? It's baffling that it exists the way that it does. It's just truly horrendous. So let's begin talking about the story, and it's retarded. By the way, I will be giving spoilers, so there's your warning. But they tried to make it seem like Madame Web is connected to all these different characters, but it never comes into play in the story at all. They're like, okay, I saw you this one day, and I saw you this one day, and then just nothing happens. It does turn out to be coincidence. Madame Web has a past connection to the villain, and it doesn't come into play either. So it just feels like they didn't know what to do with the story. The villain's main motivation is that he has a vision of these three girls killing him in the future, so he hunts them down when they're teenagers to try and kill them. And, the entire vision aspect is just given no attention. Why are they trying to kill him? What is he trying to do? It's just the most nonsensical character motivation I've seen. And if you want to see this movie because you saw the girls and their spider outfits with powers fighting crime, that is not this movie at all. This movie is getting so mismarketed to an unbelievable degree. So that's really stupid. Everything with Madame Web and her powers I thought was just wasted potential. The ability to see into the future and make changes is really cool, but they just do nothing with it. Even the way she gets her powers is really unclear. And then the way she loses her sight at the end of this movie I thought was unclear. So that was all really stupid. The movie tries to be about family, but it goes about it in a very unsatisfying way. Madame Web grew up in a foster home system, and they don't tie that into the movie's thematics at all. Sydney Sweeney's character, her dad married a new woman, and now she has a stepmom and a stepbrother, and she's like, yeah, they hate me, they don't care for me at all. And in any normal movie, she would learn by the end that she's loved, but not here. She runs away at the end of this movie to live with Madame Web and these two other girls. It's just stupid. The fact the villain doesn't kill these girls is just unbelievable. There's a scene where he's just killing all these different police officers, but leaving the people he's actually after. Everything in Peru with these spider people is so embarrassing. There's one scene where Toxic by Britney Spears plays, and Britney Spears plays, and these girls get on the table and dance, and it's one of the most cringe-worthy scenes I've seen. And they try to utilize the setting of 2003, but they don't actually do anything with it. The connections to Spider-Man and Ben Parker and all that is so cringe-worthy. The dialogue is awful in this movie. She drives a taxi for the second half of this movie, and it gets destroyed. And she goes to Peru, and then she comes back, and she's still driving the same destroyed taxi. Um, there's one scene where the girls are left in the woods and they're like, we're so lost. And it's just like, oh, let's go to this dino. And then we see Madame Web get to the same dino in like 5 seconds, but then it turns out that she needs to get to the dino again, and it takes her like 2 or 3 minutes. So it's like, how far away is this dino? Like, there's no sense of direction or time in this movie. And okay, we all know what Chekhov's shotgun is, or Chekhov's gun is. Well, if you show a gun early in the movie, it has to come into play later. There's a point in this movie where she randomly teaches these girls how to do CPR, and then at the end of the movie, the girls of course have to use it, and me and my brother just turn to each other and we're like, check off CPR. It's just so bad. The direction by C.J. Clarkson is embarrassing. This movie actually has the worst ADR I've witnessed. Anytime the villain is on screen, I don't think he actually talks at all. I don't know what they did here. I do not know. But none of his lines are spoken in the moment, and it's so distracting, and it's so apparent, and it's just awful. Like, this is some of the worst sound in a movie to exist. The movie's also terribly shot. It does these constant zoom-ins, kind of like Hancock and kind of like Avatar, but it does it really poorly without any proper reason. The visual effects are bad. The movie's terribly edited. The action scenes are bad. And then we get to the cast. And Dakota Johnson, I think, can be a very good actress. She's great in Our Friend and Bad Times at the LOL. She does not want to be in this movie. She just brings no energy. There's just nothing to her performance at all. Sydney Sweeney, I like her a lot in Euphoria. I think she's a very talented actress. I also liked her in Anyone But You. This is the worst performance from her. She is so bad here. Like, just given nothing to work with, and yeah, terrible work. Celeste O'Connor I thought was awful. Isabel Merced I think is great in Instant Family, but she's terrible here. Like, just no one has any bit of character or personality. Nobody stands out. Tahir Rahim is atrocious as the villain. Emma Roberts, why is she even in this movie? She's in it for like 3 minutes for some reason. And Adam Scott is also really bad. So like, this movie's just terribly written, it's terribly directed, it's terribly acted. And a part of me wants to give this movie a bit of grace because it did make me laugh. It is a case of laughing at how terrible a movie is, but at the same time, this movie's also very boring. It's not an entertaining watch. I kept checking my Fitbit to see how much longer was left, and it just drags and it drags. It's very slow paced and just nothing happens. It's a very hollow, empty experience. And like, look, I don't love, but I enjoy Gods of Egypt, which some people might classify as so bad it's good, but that movie is entertaining. This one is not. It's a movie that I don't know why it exists. It's truly atrocious. Stay far away from it, and I'm giving Madame Web a 0.5 out of 10. This movie's been a joke between me and my brothers. Like, on New Year's Eve, we did a toast to Madame Web, and we saw it together last night, and we were just shocked at just how terrible it was. But we still clapped and cheered at the end of the movie, which I found to be funny. But have you seen Madame Web? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.